Welcome to Devo!
Oh, okay. Sorry. Girls and Guys Night. Woo! It's super duper close. It's February 3rd and 4th. We have a sign up sheet in there on the corkboard. And if you can put your name and the days that you would be available to either help with setup or participate, that would be awesome. And we both have plans in the works, so we're going to meet after Devo and talk about that.
All right, so we're going to do this thing with Central called the Young at Heart Banquet. I don't know what it is, so ask Aaron about it or Alex or somebody. So it's February 11th at Central, and then it's basically to thank the older people at Central for always supporting us. And there's some feedback.
The sign-up sheet, we're the entertainment. So, like, think poetry night and bring your acts. Basically, if you have skills,
I'm preparing something for you,
we need people to perform to entertain the seniors.
Yeah, on the sheet it says name, and then it says performer or volunteer, and then if you can put what act or song you're singing. Yes.
Is mayonnaise an instrument?
Sure.
Horseradish is an instrument.
The Super Bowl is February 5th at CSC. Come watch the Super Bowl with us and Central and eat some yummy food. Bring some money to donate to the DR mission trip.
Lots of money. Exercise is cool if you're into that kind of thing. But some of us are going to play basketball, do real athletic stuff, and some of us are going with Aaron to do yoga.
Yoga's hard, okay?
Will will be there. Will's going to yoga.
I was sweating, but
You happen to be a Spanish lady.
Alright, so I'll see y'all at basketball.
Lane.
service project. Addison has something that we can do for Valentine's Day where you can buy one, give one stuffed animal drive to provide stuffed animals to young children at Erlanger's Children's Hospital. If you're interested, please sign up on the third sheet that's back there.
Her idea for that was to go like sit on the UC to people here like a week before Valentine's Day. So there's more information for that.
Yeah.
All right, so we all know Caitlin. She's going a lot of places this summer, and she has to raise a lot of money. And I don't know, what is it, like 5 digits? That's a lot of money. So she's also selling T-shirts that are pretty cool. So they're $20, and doing it for Valentine's Day. See Caitlin for details.
And the sign-up sheet recap. Wow, that was a lot. So there are 3: Girls Guys Night, Young at Heart, and the Service Project. So sign up for those, and if you have any questions, just ask.
Our very own Clark Boshears is going to change his name to Boshears. So that means Aaron's going to be Boshears now. Boshears, sorry. Let's all say it together. Boshears. Let's all just encourage and celebrate Clark in his new last name.
Woo! Okay, so no birthdays this week, but we have. So Kelsey's now on farmersonly.com. Check it out. And Ben got a job with a stonemason. And if you haven't heard, Jamie and Dale are engaged. So they joined the train.
All right, Wanda has something she wants to say too. Yes.
Well, if you've not seen the CSC updates, I've posted it. The Finley is needing people help in park on the 3rd of February, $9 an hour. And there's different times from 7:30 to 7:30. And see me afterwards if you want to do it. There's, we could get a few people to do it. Maybe they'll ask us again another time. I know it's boys and girls nights, but that's not that night. But then you'll be back in time for that. See me afterwards, you make $9 an hour.
Weston, you want to pray before we sing these songs?
All right, let's bow down.
Lord, thank you for this beautiful day, and thank you for the chance that we've had to walk in your this world again. I pray that you follow with us throughout the rest of the week, and I pray that you lead us in the way that you would have us be led, not the way that the world would lead us. I pray that I quit stumbling on my words, and I would like to thank you for how much you love us and how much you've given for us. In Jesus' name I pray and praise you. Amen.
Amen. Next round.
Jesus, you're my firm foundation. I know I can stand secure. Jesus, you're my firm foundation. I put my hope in your holy word. I put my hope in your holy word. Jesus, you're my firm foundation. I know I can stand secure. Jesus, you're my firm foundation. I put my hope in your holy word. I put my hope in your holy word. I have a living hope. I have a future. God has a plan for me. Of this I'm sure. Of this I'm sure. Jesus, you're my firm foundation. I know I can stand secure. Jesus, you're my firm foundation. I put my hope in your holy word. I put my hope in your holy word. Your word is faithful, mighty in power. God will deliver me. Of this I'm sure. Of this I'm sure. Jesus, you're my firm foundation. I know I can stand secure. Jesus, you're my firm foundation. I put my hope in your holy word. I put my hope in your holy word. Peace like a river attendeth my way. When sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say, it is well with my soul. It is well with my soul. With my soul. It is well. It is well with my soul. My sin, hope of bliss, of this glorious thought. My sin not in part, but the whole is nailed to the cross, and I bear it no more. Praise
face shall be sight. The clouds be rolled back as a scroll. The trump shall resound, and the Lord shall descend. Even so, it is well with my soul. It is well with my soul. With my soul. It is well. It is well with my soul.
Shout
Hallelujah, shout hallelujah, shout hallelujah unto the Lord. Shout hallelujah, shout hallelujah, shout hallelujah unto the Lord. Sing aloud to God, let the people shout before his throne. Hallelujah, sing aloud to God, make a joyful noise unto the Lord. Shout hallelujah, shout hallelujah, shout hallelujah unto the Lord. Shout hallelujah, shout hallelujah, shout hallelujah unto the Lord. The ends of the earth, from the depths of the sea, let all creation praise his name. From the ends of the earth, from the depths of the sea, let all creation praise his name. Shout hallelujah, shout hallelujah, shout hallelujah unto the Lord. Shout hallelujah, shout hallelujah, shout hallelujah unto the Lord.
Okay, so we're not going to sing this song as fast as I usually do, because I want to give you guys one of the few chances you're going to get, because I will sing it fast again eventually, to listen to all the words of this. It's 4 verses, but they're all the same, so you get it. Joyful, joyful, we adore thee, God of glory, Lord of love. Hearts unfold like clouds before thee, opening to the sun above. Melt the clouds of sin and sadness, drive the dark of doubt away. Giver of immortal gladness, fill us with the light of day. All thy works with joy surround me, earth and heaven reflect thy rays. Stars and angels sing around me, center of unbroken praise. Field and forest, vale and mountain, flowery meadow, flashing sea. Chanting bird and flowing fountain, call us to rejoice in thee. Thou art giving and forgiving, ever blessing, ever blessed. Wellspring of the joy of living, ocean depth of happy rest. Thou our Father, Christ our brother, all who live in love are thine. Teach us how to love each other, lift us to the joy divine. Mortals join the mighty chorus, with
which the morning stars began. Father love is reigning for us, brother love binds man to man. Ever singing, march we onward, victors in the midst of strife. Joyful music leads us onward in the triumph song of life. Father God, just for today, help me walk your narrow way. Help me stand when I might fall. Give me your strength to hear your call. May my steps be worship, may my thoughts be praise, may my words bring honor to your name. May my steps be worship, may my thoughts be praise, may my words bring honor to your name. Here I am, just for today. Live in me, have your way. For my desire, when this race is run, is to hear you say, well done. May my steps be worship, may my thoughts be praise, may my words bring honor to your name. May my steps be worship, may my thoughts be praise, may my words bring honor to your name. In Christ alone, my hope is found. He is my life, my strength, my song. This cornerstone, this solid ground, firm through the fiercest drought and storm. What heights of love, what depths of peace, when fears are stilled, when striving cease. My comforter, my all in all, here in the love of Christ I stand. In Christ alone, who took on flesh, fullness of God in helpless faith, this gift of love and righteousness, scorned by the ones he came to save, till on that cross, as Jesus died, the wrath of God was satisfied. For every sin on him was laid, here in the death of Christ. bursting forth in glorious day. Up from the grave he rose again, and as he stands in victory, sin's curse has lost its grip on me. For I am his, and he is mine, bought with the precious blood of Christ. No guilt in life, no fear in death. This is the power of Christ in me. From life's first cry to final breath, Jesus commands my death on me. No power of hell, no scheme of man can ever love me from his hand till he returns or calls me home. Here in the power of Christ I'll stand.
Hey guys, if you'll do me a favor and raise your hand if you need a Bible. Can somebody play? Anybody? Bible? Anyone? Anybody with the Bible over here? Anybody?
We have retreat feedback survey forms. I'm going to leave them on this podium over here. So if you went on winter retreat, I would be very appreciative if you would fill out this brief. It won't take you but 3-minute survey and turn it back into myself or one of the SDs. So that makes 4 forms. So I don't usually go into the Old Testament all that much, but that's where we're going to be tonight. And I want to talk about one of those brief little stories that has always caused me some consternation. Problems. You guys know, you know what consternation is, right?
You need to go wash your mouth.
No, consternation. It's like you're just like frustrated with it.
Frustration.
All right, bring up that slide, Kelsey. Or Caitlin. Everybody knows what that is, right? Maybe. Ark of the Covenant. Yep. And that bottom cartoonish looking picture is kind of important. I want you to just take that scene in, look at the details of it, because most of the pictures that you see of the Ark of the Covenant with men carrying the Ark, it doesn't look like that. It's uncovered. That's an important fact to note. Okay. So turn your Bibles, if you've got them, or your phones, to 1 Chronicles chapter 13. I'm going to talk a little bit about the ark and a story that occurs with the ark. By the way, you can also go to 2 Samuel chapter 6, and you'll find the same story. There's a few more details in the 1 Chronicles passage. 1 Chronicles chapter 13. So we're introduced to this guy named Uzzah, and I'm going to talk a little bit about him in a minute. But I just want you guys to get the story first. Beginning in verse 5. So David assembled all Israel from the Nile of Egypt to Lebo Hamath to bring the ark of God from Kiriath Jearim. And David and all of Israel went up to Baalah, that is Kiriath Jearim, that belongs to Judah, to bring up from there the ark of God, which is called by the name of the Lord, who sits enthroned above the cherubim. And they carried the ark of God on a new cart from the house of Abinadab and Uzzah and Ahio were driving the cart. And David and all Israel were celebrating before God with all their might, with songs and lyres and harps and tambourines and cymbals and trumpets. And when they came to the threshing floor of Chidon, Uzzah put out his hand to take hold of the ark, for the oxen stumbled. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Uzzah, and he struck him down because he put his hand to the ark, and he died there before God. And David was angry because the Lord had broken out against Uzzah. And that place is called Perez Uzzah to this day. Okay. So we read this story, and David is having the ark moved from this place back to Jerusalem. And so what's going on is he's had this cart built that's being pulled by oxen, and they put the Ark of the Covenant onto this cart or wagon, trailer, is I think the word we would use today. Basically, that's what it looked like. And it's pulled by a couple ox. And so they go to this, they get to this area, this threshing floor. Do you guys know what a threshing floor is? It's where wheat is separated from the chaff, and it's in this big circular field, and they get on this little sled-looking device, and some type of animal, usually an ox, will pull a man that's standing on this sled over the wheat, and it separates the chaff from the wheat. And it gets really compact and really flat in this area, which I find that detail a little bit ironic, because of all the places for the ox to lose its footing, it should not have been at a very firm, flat place. But it does. So the ark begins, or the cart begins to go lopsided. And so Uzzah is there with his brother. They're leading the ox. And as the Ark of the Covenant begins to tip, Uzzah reaches out his hand and stops it from falling off of the ark. And boom, he's struck dead. Okay, does anybody else besides me have a problem with that? Well, and David got angry. Yep. Thank you. Just trying to keep the ark from falling. Why would God kill Uzzah for just trying to keep the ark from falling onto the ground? It seems like he was doing a good thing. His intentions were good. Right? Y'all with me on that? Who does not believe here in this room that Uzzah did not have good intentions? Anybody? Okay, so we all agree. Uzzah, his intentions were good. Stop the ark from falling. Okay. So as I read this and I started thinking about it, I decided, there's probably more to the story here that we're not really getting, or maybe that we just don't understand. And so to get the full picture of actually what's going on here with Uzzah and the ark, we need to understand a little bit about the history of the Ark of the Covenant and what it actually was. Okay? So this devo tonight, I want it to be kind of interactive. And you guys that have, if you know some of the questions I'm going to ask, just let's talk a little bit about it. So, history of the Ark. Anybody know what the history of the Ark of the Covenant was? Yeah. Oh, okay. We're going to bring Indiana. Okay, because that's the authority.
Isn't it just a conglomeration of a bunch of like really holy souls?
No, it's actually inside the Ark is where some very special things were placed, like the staff of Moses, the Ten Commandments. Yep. Okay.
Was it Aaron's staff?
It was Moses' first, and then Aaron had it. Okay. What else? What else do we know about the Ark of the Covenant? It was located in the most holy place. Okay. So we're going to circle back around to that. What did you say? The Levites were in charge of the Ark of the Covenant. Why the Levites? Okay, but there's another reason. Specifically, the Levites were of the tribe Yeah, but what was special about the Levites?
That's when they were rebelling, they needed it as their own.
No?
Priest.
Thank you, priest. Yeah. Yeah. So if you know a little bit about your Old Testament tribes, okay, there were 12 tribes. Okay, Benjamin, Judah, you go through the 12. And Levi, who was one of the 12 brothers, from Levi came the priest. And the priests were the only ones that were allowed into the temple, to the Holy of Holies, and that's where they did the sacrifices, and that's where they did all of the atonement for the year would take place, and they could only go in there at certain times. All right, so it was a very special place, and that's where they kept the Ark of the Covenant. Okay. What else do we know about the Ark? Levites were in charge. It was kept in a very holy place in the temple. You couldn't touch. Yeah, even the Levites, even the high priest himself, could not touch it. Okay, there were very specific rules for that. As a matter of fact, let's go back and kind of cover the special rules pertaining to the Ark of the Covenant. All right. Turn to Numbers. That's the fourth book of the Bible. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers. Chapter 4. And somebody read verse 5 and 6.
When the camp is set out, Aaron and his son shall go in and take down the veil of the screen and cover the ark of the testimony with it. Then they shall put on it a covering of goat skin and spread on top of that a cloth olive blue, shall put in it poles. Okay, good. So some very specific instructions laid out on how the ark was supposed to be treated. It had to be covered. Okay, so that's one thing we know. And not just covered once. There were 3 separate coverings that went on it. All right, this picture here, I like it because they're showing the ark being moved and it's covered. All right. The story we read about with David and Uzzah, we don't read that it was covered. Okay, so they're violating one of the commandments or one of the prefixes that God has assigned on how to handle the ark. All right. Let's look at Joshua chapter 3. Joshua chapter 3. And beginning at verse 2, this is where Israel is crossing the Jordan. By the way, I should have said this first. So when the Israelites came out of captivity and they're traveling and they're walking through all of the wilderness and stuff, it's at that point that God tells Moses to build the ark. Okay, and the temple wasn't like this stone temple. The temple was actually, it could be broken down and carried along with them. It was basically a tent, a big tent, and that tent had dividing curtains in it. And so as you work your way towards the back of the tent, it got more and more holy. Okay, so the front of the tent was like a courtyard, and you work your way in until the very back was the Holy of Holies, where the high priest went, and that's where they kept the ark. Okay, yeah.
What was the purpose of the ark?
I'm going to get to that. Yeah. That's a. If I don't get to that, you need to remind me, because that is like the biggest part of the meat of this.
Bread and butter.
What?
The bread and butter.
The bread and butter. Thank you. All right. So Joshua chapter 3. As soon as you, in verse 3, let's go back to verse 2. And at the end of 3 days, the officers went through the camp and commanded the people, as soon as you see the ark of the covenant of the Lord your God being carried by the Levitical priest, then you shall set out from your place and follow it. Yet there shall be distance between you and it, about 2,000 cubits in length. 1 cubit is 18 inches, so somebody can do the math. Okay, so the ark has to be covered. And then what about just you and I, the regular people? What does it tell us as far as like being, as we're walking? Let's say, the Israelites, we're part of the Israelite nation, and we're in one place, and it's time to break down our camp and move to the next place as we go. And what are we supposed to do? We supposed to get right up close to it? No, we gotta keep our distance. Okay, what was your question?
Why the purpose of it?
Okay, why the purpose of it? Just wanted to. You're reminded, so I didn't forget. Okay. Let's look at 1 Chronicles chapter 15, verse 15. Somebody read that as soon as you get there.
And the Levites carried the ark of God on their shoulders with the poles as Moses had commanded according to the word of God.
And Moses, or what does it say again? And the Levites did what? Carried it where?
Shoulders with poles.
On their shoulders with poles, as who commanded?
Moses.
Okay.
According
According
to
to who?
the word of God.
According to the word of the Lord. Okay, so had to be covered. You got to keep your distance from it, and it has to be carried a certain way. All right. So on it, you have these little rings, and you can go get a description if you want to. Earlier on, when God tells Moses how to build it, it's very specific. But these poles, these runners run through, and there's a man on each side, a Levite priest, not just any man. Okay, so 4 men to carry this thing on their shoulders. Okay, as they're carrying this thing around. Okay, what does that remind you of? Men carrying. Okay, not really the direction I was going. But that's good.
How they used to carry boards and guys.
Yes. If you look, royalty was always carried on a pyre. Okay? Because why? Why would we carry kings and princesses and royalty with men carrying them up on their shoulders?
Higher authority.
They're elevated, higher authority. What else? You can see them for what else?
Touching the ground.
You don't touch the ground. Why not? But why not an animal?
Because manpower is better.
Why? Why? Don't think about this too hard. No, it's common sense. Why would men carry it? There's a couple of reasons. Why would men carry it and not animals? Respect. Yeah. Does an animal know that it's carrying royalty? No, not at all. But a man does. It's a sign of respect. It's a sign that you are submitting yourself to a higher authority. Okay, humbling oneself. I've got you. I'm carrying you. I respect you. And there's another very basic reason why men, humans, would carry it and not animals. Why would that be?
Animal might drop it.
Thank you. Who said that? Gavin? Animal might drop it. We just read about an animal stumbling, the ox, right? That's what brought up this whole thing in the first place. An ox stumbled, and Uzzah went to reach it so it wouldn't fall. If a guy's walking, you got 4 other guys, and you stumble, you know what? You can right yourself, and you still got 3 other guys, but you can keep hold of it. Has anybody, I'm glad you brought up the coffin. Has anybody been a pallbearer in here? Carried a coffin? Why are there numerous men? There's 3 on each side. You usually have 6 pallbearers.
With one fall, there's always an extra one to catch it.
That's the main reason. That is the main reason. Okay? Yeah, and it's heavy. So you need multiple people. Just like here. This was not a light piece of furniture. Okay? It had some weight to it. All right, so common stuff. What was your question, Kristen?
Why was it important? Why was it built?
Okay. Let's answer Kristen's question. Why was this important? Why was it built?
Is it to like form important stuff?
Not really. It did, but that was not the primary reason for it.
Didn't God encompass it?
That's it. This was how God chose to be with us during this period of time. He inhabited the Ark of the Covenant. That's where his presence dwelled. Okay? Literally, he was there with it. Which means that this wasn't just an object. This was something that needed to be given all due respect. Okay? Now, think about this thing just being put on a cart with some cows drawing it. Does that seem very respectful? Not at all. Not at all. they had gotten very comfortable with this thing. All right. So I'm going to go through and hit some of the highlights, and then we're going to wrap this up because I think it's got some relevance to us today. All right. First of all, we know that Moses built it, and if you want to know, that's found in Exodus 25. There's some details laid out there about him building it and why God wanted him to build it. Soon after that, the Israelites went into battle with the Philistines. Okay? And what happened is the Philistines knew that this was a very special thing, and they stole it. They took it. They captured it. And now the Philistines, the enemy of God, have where God resides, basically. Okay? And that occurred on the 29th year of Saul's reign, King Saul. Right? And so the Philistines had it for 7 months. And then they decided to give it back. And that's a hilarious story. Because everywhere they took it, bad stuff kept happening to them. And people kept dying. And they had plagues going all throughout their cities. So the Philistines were like, we're going to give this thing back. So they literally marched it back and gave it back to the Israelite nation. And so when they took it, they brought it, and it arrived at Beth Shemesh. Okay? And they unloaded it with the Levites there. That's in 1 Samuel chapter 6. And while they were there, the people of Beth Shemesh wanted to look inside it. And when they did, about 50,000 of them were killed. 1 Samuel chapter 6. You can find that story also. So the Ark of the Covenant is in Beth Shemesh, and the people, after they all got decimated or killed, none of them wanted it in their house. I don't blame them. So they sent it to Kirjath Jearim. That's also in 1 Samuel 6. This is the whole story.